Such artistry is very rare on any instrument, but particularly on a brass instrument, and I particularly enjoyed that. So thank you very much indeed. By way of an extra piece, an encore to Robert, we have two baritone players in the band. Every band has two baritone players. You don't notice them very often. Not for the right reasons, anyway. We're very lucky at Black Dyke. We have two very, very fine players on baritone. The baritone is a peculiar instrument. I do actually have eyes in the back of my head, Mr. Blackburn. I had them specially put in for conducting brass bands. The baritone is a peculiar instrument. It has been called the viola of the brass band, but that's not fair. I mean, baritone players are much more intelligent than that. I don't know what it's like in Denmark. I presume it's the same in all bands all over the world. I started playing in the cornet when I was 4 years old in Desford Colliery Band, down on third cornet, and you work your way along the line, and eventually you get onto the hot seat to principal cornet player here, and then your teeth get a little loose, and you have too many cigarettes, and you come down the line. Then you have a little go on this one for a bit, and then they put you on the back here playing one of the tubas. That's when all your teeth come out and you have false teeth, because it doesn't matter on the bass, let's be honest. And then when you have no teeth, no hair, and no breath, you become a baritone player. I have to say that was the old way. Of course, we don't have that these days. We have two very fine players. I personally love the sound of the baritone, and Mr. Blackburn and Mr. Paget will both agree that over the years I've actually done a lot to push the sound of the baritone in brass bands. I think when it's played softly, it purrs like a cat. And when it's played loudly, it barks like a dog. I think it's a wonderful instrument of two extremes. It's a very interesting, exciting sound. This time we have the two baritone players playing together, which, to have two baritone players who can stand up and play is very, very unusual. This is a story of two fishermen, and it's in the opera The Pearl Fishers by Bizet, a French composer. This is a beautiful melody. It's the only one anyone knows from the Pearl Fishers. I was at the Royal Opera House at Covent Garden for 8 years, and we did the Pearl Fishers just once. It's not a good opera, but this is a good song. And this scene, this comes at the end of Act 2. All of the baritone arias in all of the operas come at the end of Act 2. They never hang around for Act 3 and Act 4. You see, the thing is that in the opera house, the soprano singer and the tenor, they get all the big money. And so there's not much left for the baritone. So he has to live further out of town, and so he has to get the train earlier to get home. You see, he lives so far away. So that's why they always write the baritone aria at the end of the second act. In this scene, the two baritones are sitting on an upturned fishing boat, mending their nets, and talking to each other independently at separate times. They have both been to the cave and seen this wonderful goddess, this beautiful creature, and they've both fallen in love with this person, this goddess. And of course they're both wasting their time, because everyone knows in any opera the tenor always gets the girl. But please enjoy the wonderful playing of Deep Inside the Sacred Temple from the Pearl Fishers by Bizet of Mr. Robert Blackburn and Andrew Paget.